Welcome to another episode of the Chief Audit Executive Briefing. Welcome back, my friends. Hey, in this week's video, I actually want to let you in on a little secret. And it could be something that's actually holding you back. Now, to kind of explain what this is, let me just share something with you. I've been watching a lot of American football recently because it's football season here in the US. And I've watched a lot of games. A lot of the games have been very close and have started to kind of analyze and think about really the game of life, the game of our careers, and do an analogy back to football. Now, each team is made up of varying levels of players. There's some great superstars. There's some that are pretty good. There's some that aren't really that great. So what makes the difference between a winning team, someone who actually goes out, wins, versus those that don't? Now, there's a lot of things, but the one that I want to talk about today comes back to coaching and the support. So well-coached teams do better, okay? And you can see this, especially in different sporting events. But like I said, I'm just talking about football today because that's what I've been watching. And you'll notice that sometimes in a game, things don't go the way the team was expecting. You start off, you score some points really quick. You're feeling good about what's going on. And then all of a sudden, the other team starts coming back. They stop you. They score more than you just scored. And all of a sudden, we start to have some of these mindset issues as a team. And you can see this as you watch the players. Do they start to get frustrated? Do they start getting down on themselves? And the teams that are not well coached, they usually go down into this spiral. And they start performing worse and worse throughout the game. And in football, sometimes the team has effectively given up after the first quarter. Now, those teams that have good coaching, the coaches jump in and really kind of help them when those tough times come along. But they've also been helping them along the way in their physical and their mental toughness. And so again, the teams that usually perform the best are the ones that are coached the best and have good coaches, because you need to have good coaches when things aren't going your way. So how does this relate back to this little secret that I wanted to let you in on? Well, most of the executives in your organization are receiving some sort of coaching or are participating in executive programs. That's been my experience. That's what I've seen. And even though most people don't actually know it, but most of the executives are getting some help. So why is that a dirty little secret that you need to know about? Because many of you are not receiving that kind of help. So just what happens in a football game? You might get out, you might have a couple of quick wins, and you're feeling really good about yourself. And then all of a sudden, the other team starts coming back, and you start questioning, and you start wondering, and you start having problems, and it's because you're not receiving the same level of coaching or support through these executive programs that others in your organization are receiving. Another way to think about it is, imagine if there was a football team made up of a whole bunch of individuals that kind of knew the rules, but didn't know all the rules. They didn't have coaches. Everybody just went out and played for themselves. And compare that with the other team who is well coached. Now, who do you think is going to end up winning? Obviously, the team that's playing together, that has the good support and the coaching. So why am I telling you this? Well, if you're not, being perceived as a trusted advisor, one of the reasons is you're trying to compete with executives who are getting more training on how to be an executive than you are. And that puts you at a disadvantage. So I'm going to go into more detail on this in my upcoming podcast episode this week. But I wanted to give you a little heads up on this, because here's the reality that I see. Most of you are at a disadvantage because you are not getting either coaching or participating in some sort of executive programs so that you can compete at the same level as the other executives in your organization. Now, I have some great news for you, though, too, is that the Chief Audit Executive Forum, which happens to be an executive program for chief audit executives, similar to what other executives in your organization are already going through, we're accepting new member applications, which means that you have the opportunity to apply for membership in the Chief Audit Executive Forum. So application time is open. You'll see the link down below in the email, and I'll be following up with some emails to remind you as well, because the window is very short on when you can actually turn in an application, and I don't want you to miss out and not hear about it. So if you are really serious about trying to elevate the status of internal audit in your organization and work on your executive presence, and learn best practices, get some of this thought leadership from other like-minded chief audit executives from around the world. If you're serious about that, the Chief Audit Executive Forum is something that is exactly right for you. So fill out your application, and I look forward to receiving that. And with that, my friends, I'm going to sign off for this week. Make sure to be checking for the Jamming with Jason episode for more on this in this coming week. And with that, have a great rest of your week and keep on rocking in the audit world. See ya.